Creative Creatures, a window display Inclusion Center created, 2018, descriptive video. Painted background of the green mountains, the words Inclusion Center. The title, Creative Creatures. You now see the left side of the window display. All of the creatures and the buildings are made of paper mache. You see the Brooks house, which is a Brattleboro icon, a canary, pileated woodpecker, a cat, elephant, a mole or centipede, a dog, and a duck in a wheelchair. All of the creatures have disabilities. You now see the right side of the window display, which includes the dog, the duck in the wheelchair, an older woman, the meerkat, a giraffe way in the back, and two buildings, the Brown and Roberts building, hardware store, and the Pliny bus stop. Each creature has a short story written about it. Some of the stories can be a little tough to hear. The stories are displayed in the window. We now are looking at the pileated woodpecker, and this is his story. My disability is hidden. On the outside, I look fine, but inside I hear voices that tell me to hurt myself or that talk about me in negative ways. It is hard not to pay attention to voices, and I have acted when they have sometimes told me to kill myself. I want to talk to them, but I have learned only to do this when alone. Others with hidden disabilities like mine may feel suicidal or, in contrast, extremely up and on top of the world. This is not a good thing, as they might give away lots of money they do not have or spend it extremely foolishly and do other outlandish things that they would not ordinarily do. We are almost always not dangerous to others, only ourselves, but we are easily victimized by con artists who see in us vulnerable people and an easy mark. Now we're looking at Chris the Canary. You won't see me around town very often because I get sick from a lot of things that are in the air. Sometimes I wear a chemical filtering mask when I go out. All around the neighborhood, people's chemicals, their clothes dryer vents, cleaning chemicals, air fresheners, and the perfumes and hair products they use, these all make the air like a poison to me. Very small amounts of chemicals can trigger an asthma attack, give me a migraine, or make me feel like I have the flu with swollen glands, body aches, exhaustion, and sore throat. I'm like the canaries they used to keep in the coal mines. If the air quality became dangerously unhealthy, a canary would sicken and stop singing long before the miners felt unwell. Then the miners knew they must get out or improve the air exchange. I wasn't always this way. It started when I was 30 and working on a graduate degree. It's gotten worse over time. I can't do the work I studied for because I can't be around people and their fragranced products. Now I work at home and have very few friends. I'm grateful that I've gotten out of apartment living and into my own house, which gives me some distance from other people's chemicals. One of the hardest things for me is shopping. So many fragranced products ruin the air quality of the stores, and the floor wax and other cleaners are strongly perfumed. If I go grocery shopping in the morning, it can take the whole day for me to recover, and I lose a work day. I believe that awareness about the health effects of all the new unregulated chemicals in consumer products will grow as more people begin to feel the effects. And this is a story of Joanna the cat. Life for Joanna wasn't easy. Being 11 years old with cerebral palsy and the only physically disabled person in her school was on her list of challenges. I was 11 when I had surgery on my legs to straighten them, and having to wear huge, itchy, and bulky braces while being in a wheelchair was not fun. When I came back to school after a week in the hospital, I was tired and not feeling 100%. While my classmates were very understanding and concerned, the other kids at recess were constantly questioning me and somehow came to the conclusion that I had been in an accident. After a few weeks of being in a wheelchair, I traded my huge braces for normal plastic ones. While kids continued to ask me questions, I learned to just take it in stride, no matter how annoying it was. Joanna looks down at her paper with a small smile of satisfaction on her face. And this is the story of Dottie the anorexic elephant. I am Dottie and I have anorexia. Anorexia is an eating disorder and also a mental dysfunction. When I look into a lake or a stream and see my reflection, I think that I'm a huge elephant and ugly as can be. But all of my friends tell me that I'm too skinny and should eat more. I'm constantly exercising and eating very little, and the little I do eat, I puke back up. My family and friends finally decided that I should see a doctor, so they brought me to the best doctor in the jungle. I went, but when the doctor started asking me questions, I was reluctant to answer. Finally, I gave up trying to hide and told her the truth. That's when I found out I have anorexia. She told me that with some group psychotherapy, plus some medication, I would feel better about myself and I would no longer see myself as fat. She said I had to want to change this about myself in order for it to work the best. I thought about it for a while and finally decided that I don't want to feel ugly or fat, so I thought it was the best option I could have. Crossing my trunk. I hope this works. This is the story about the mole. I am a miracle. I have survived horrible abuse in my early life. My mother suffered from postpartum psychosis. From the moment they brought me home, she tried to kill me. Fortunately, my aunt came when I was about a month old and took me to the hospital to treat the infections that had invaded my bones. Because child abuse and neglect were not against the law, they had to give me back to my mother and father. Child abuse and neglect were not against the law until 1974, when they used laws on the books stating that one could not abuse animals. So children were classified in the same way as cattle. Unfortunately, my physical, emotional, and sexual abuse happened before 1974. I've had 9 reconstructive surgeries to try and fix what had been done to me, but there are many issues that remain that cannot be fixed by surgery and therapy. When I was a little girl, I promised myself that I would do something to change things that would stop abuse. I grew up to be an advocate for other people with abuse issues and/or disabilities. And this is the story of the poodle who has myasthenia gravis. 4 years ago, I was able to dig all I wanted to in the dirt, go for long walks, breathe just fine, see normally, and get normally tired like others my age. Then myasthenia gravis, or MG, an autoimmune disease that affects the way my nerves communicate with my muscles, hit. I can no longer dig in the dirt. I can walk at most a third of a mile without a walker. I have pain in my ribs because my chest muscles are weak. I see double most of the time and almost constantly fatigued. I may look normal, but I'm far from it. Mestinon, a chemical, helps me function somewhat normally for 4 hours or so a day by lessening my symptoms. There is no cure for MG. And this is the story of the duck in the wheelchair. I am going to Grandma's house. I have my backpack with stuff for Grandma. Oh, there is trash on the sidewalk. Can I get around it? And now a garbage can. I guess I can't stay on this sidewalk. There isn't enough room for my wheelchair and the cans as well. I have to wheel on the road, which is hard to do because I need to watch and listen for cars. And it makes the drivers so angry too. Now I can go back up on the sidewalk. Good. I can relax a little. Uh-oh, this corner is really steep where they put in the curb cut. Okay, I made it. Is that car in that driveway pulling out, or is it parked there blocking the sidewalk? It's blocking it. They have too many cars and the person couldn't pull up far enough. Okay, where can I find a ramp to get off the sidewalk then? No ramp. I'll turn around and go back to the ramp back there. I can't turn around. The sidewalk isn't wide enough. I have to back up. I don't have eyes at the back of my head, though. This is awful. Okay, I'm backing up, backing up, backing up. I made it. Phew! Onto the road, and this time I'm staying on the road. This is taking a very long time to go just 2 blocks. Okay, I'm here. At least Grandma has a ramp and I can go inside and visit her. And this is a story about the old woman in blue. I have all this energy. People ask me, where do you get all that energy? I either point up to the sky, indicating that it comes from God, the universe, the heavens, or I say, well, maybe it's from having ADHD. Really, I guess it's both. My creator saw that I would love all the energy that comes with ADHD. I can dance like a tornado, can stand on my head at age 68, and can go, go, go. The disability part is that I'm chronically disorganized and that some people seem to find all the energy overwhelming and seem to want to tell me to curb my enthusiasm. The super ability, the gift that comes from this, is the people who say, I love your energy. I want to be like you when I get old. Here is a photo of the meerkat dressed in a yellow dress. She has hearing aids and a cane. This is a photo of a papier-mâché copy of the Brown and Roberts hardware store. The words written, thanks to everyone from Inclusion Center. Together we go far. inclusioncenter.webs.com. Here is the Inclusion Center logo. Thanks for watching, everyone.